Hi, it's Tash. Welcome to Tash's Library. Today's video is going to be my favorite one to film, and that is my TBR game. And this month is going to be awesome because I'm also going to be doing Scientific September. So I'm going to play the TBR game, and then I'm going to have to fit the books that I pick to the prompt for Scientific September, because of course I make things as difficult as possible for myself. But I'm excited. So the aim, of course, is to pick books that are either science books or science fiction books. I'm really going to try and not pick any other books because I'm going to try and maximize. I can read up to 10 sciencey books to build Neon, which is the biggest atom you can build for Scientific September. If you'd like to participate in Scientific September, I will link the announcement video that I made. Check it out. You can read anything from 1 book to 10 books and satisfy Scientific September. So super broad, super easy. The whole aim of it is to read more sciencey type books. All right, so that is the main focus. I also have Buzzword, which is about sensors, because I do participate in the Buzzwordathon, and I'll link that video below. Sensors is tricky. So I looked at the books that I have. The only really books that fit the sensors prompt are either Blindsight, which I would quite like to get on there because it is science fiction. And then the other, I've got Girl with Ghost Eyes, which is fantasy, The Hunger of the Gods, which is fantasy, and then The Hunger Games, which would actually fit science fiction to some extent. So that could fit. So I'm going to see if I can try and fit Blindsight or Hunger Games into my TBR game, but we'll see. I'm going to be kind to myself though. If I can't get Buzzwordathon on this month, I'm just going to carry it on into next month and then have to read 2 prompts. We'll see. But I'm going to try really hard. So without further ado, let's move to the board. All right, and here is the board. Once again, I move in an anti-clockwise rotation, starting here with my little trusty Lego Eeyore. Depending on what color square I pick a corresponding card. It's a vibe, genres and tropes, etc. What's in a name, title prompts. Purple from cover to cover is a cover prompt. All in the making are publication details and authors. And green, it's so random, means another game like a pick a wheel. If I land on one of the 2 bookworm spaces, I have to play the bookworm game, which has super obscure prompts. Now, I haven't pulled that since I've created this new board, and I'm really hoping I don't this month because I really need to pick science and science fiction books, and the bookworm game may not work. But anyway, if I throw a double, I add an extra roll. And I'm going to go with 8 rolls because I'm an idiot. Roll number 1, double 6. I always throw a double 6. That's okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All in the making, and I have shuffled these. A low rated book. Okay, so it doesn't have to be my lowest rated, but ideally probably below 4 on Goodreads. All right, let's see what I can find. And we started beautifully with a double 6. Once again, they strike again. Yes, double 6s love me. Anyway, so we got all in the making prompt, which is a low rated book. And so I had a look at Goodreads, and I've decided to go with Floating Hotel. This actually has a 3.7 rating on Goodreads at the moment. So that's fairly low, but I'm also super keen to read this. Welcome to the Grand Abiona Hotel, home of the finest food, the sweetest service, and the very best views the galaxy has to offer. Year-round, it moves from planet to planet, system to system, pampering guests across the furthest reaches of the Milky Way. The last word in luxury and an absolute magnet for intrigue. Intrigue such as why are there love poems in the lobby inbox? How many Imperial spies are currently on board? What is the true purpose of the Problem Solvers Conference? And perhaps more pertinently, who is driving the ship? At the center of these mysteries stands Carl, one-time stowaway, long-time manager, But as forces beyond Carl's comprehension converge on the hotel, he has to face one final question: when is it time to let go? So it's meant to be like Grand Budapest Hotel in space. It does seem to have mysteries in it. Going to use this for the secretive prompt, so we'll see. But also, like, if it doesn't fit secretive, I could probably fit it to journeying as well. So roll number 2 is an 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Green. All right, this could be really good or really bad for Scientific September. A friend pick. Interesting. Okay, this is good. This is good because I can let them know they have to pick science fiction. And it's so random. And this one was a friend pick. And so I asked my boyfriend to pick me a science fiction book. And he did give me a few options. But I have decided to go with This Is How You Lose the Time War. I have kind of wanted to read this, and it sounds super intriguing. It's also a nice short one, since I've started with a 666 already. So I'm going to fit this for the mixology Scientific September prompt, because it does actually feature a romance in it. So among the ashes of a dying world, an agent of the commandant finds a letter. It reads, "Burn before reading. Red and blue, 2 rival agents hell-bent on securing the best possible future for their warring factions, strike up an unlikely correspondence. But what started as a taunt, a battlefield boast, grows into something more, something epic and romantic, something that could change the past and the future." Yes, so this is like a time travel, so it could have fit that, but I think I'm going to go with the mixology, which is a book that features romance or chemistry. So yes, I'm excited about this one. Like, I don't know, he said he didn't love it, but he thought I might like it. So yes, I'm going to give it a go. Right, roll number 3 is an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Another all in the making. A recent acquisition. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. All right, and an all in the making, a recent acquisition. And for this one, I am going to pick Annihilation, which is the most recent book that I have purchased. And this is by Jeff Vandermeer. It's another short little one because I really want to build my atom. So welcome to Area X, an Edenic wilderness, an environmental disaster zone, a mystery for 30 years. The Southern Reach, a secretive government agency, has sent 11 expeditions to investigate Area X. One has ended in mass suicide, another in a hail of gunfire, the 11th in a fatal cancer epidemic. Now 4 women embark on the 12th expedition into the unknown. Now this is meant to be very, very creepy, and so we'll have a horror elements in it, which means I'm going to fit it to the disaster prompt for Scientific September, and I'm super excited to read this one. Roll number 4 of 9 is a 10. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 title prompt. An adjective in the title. All right, that should be fairly straightforward, I hope. Please let there be a science fiction book. Can't think of one, but I will find one. And what's in a name? I got an adjective in the title, and I'm going to go for a slightly weird one, but I'm going to pick Just One Damn Thing After Another by Jodie Taylor. So this is on my Kindle, and it is about time travel, I believe. So meet St. Mary's, a group of tea-soaked disaster magnets who hurtle their way around history. If the whole of history lay before you, where would you go? When Dr. Madeleine Maxwell is recruited by the St. Mary's Institute of Historical Research, she discovers the historians there don't just study the past, they revisit it. But one wrong move and history will fight back to the death, and Max soon discovers it's not just history she's fighting. So this is meant to be for fans of Jasper Fforde, Doctor Who, Genevieve Cogman, Richard Osman's Thursday Murder Club. I love all of those. So I'm super keen, and this will fit the clockworthy prompt for Scientific September. This sounds like just a really fun, humorous book about time travel. And it is the first in the series, the Chronicles of St. Mary's series. I believe there's about 14 books so far. So if I like this, I have a lot to read. Roll number 5 is a 2 and a double. 1, 2 from cover to cover. And everyday objects on the cover. That's super easy. So that could be anything from a table through to an iron, whatever. Okay, and another double. Okay, double won this one time, so it's not too bad. I mean, it counts the same, right? But anyway. All right, so quite a lot of books at the moment, 10 books. So I got from cover to cover, and it's an everyday object on the cover. And so for this one, I've decided to go with Storm in a Teacup, the physics of everyday life, because it has a teacup in it. That's an everyday object. So this is a non-fiction book. Our world is full of patterns. If you pour milk into your tea and give it a stir, you'll see a swirl, a spiral of two fluids before the two liquids mix completely. The same pattern is found elsewhere too. Look down to the earth from space and you'll find similar swirls in the clouds, made where warm air and cold air waltz. In Storm in a Teacup, Helen Sersky links the little things we see each day with the big world we live in. Each chapter begins with something small, popcorn, coffee stains, refrigerator magnets, and uses it to explain some of the most important science and technology of our time. This is super cool. I love books like this. And I'm going to fit this one into the precipitation prompt for Scientific September because it has the word storm in it. Roll number 6 of 10. Of 11 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's green. Random series pick. Oh no. This is not going to work. That's okay. That's okay. Okay, this was a bit of a double whammy. Not only did I throw a double, which adds now an 11th book to my TBR, but I also pulled, and it's so random, a random series pick, which means I may not get a science fiction book at all. And it is highly unlikely I will get a science fiction book because I have to pull a series from my series jar. And most series, of course, are going to be fantasy. Now, in here, I mean, I want to read all these books, but do I want to read them in September? Probably not. Like, I could pull, like, the Farseer trilogy. I don't want to start that right now. I could pull Wheel of Time, which is, I really want to read. I'm on up to the second book. But do I want to read it in Scientific September? I do not. So all I can hope for is that this is either a short book that I pull, or it's at least a continuation of a series, because I can feel okay about it if I'm not reading a sciencey book, but I am at least continuing a series, which is one of my focuses for the year. But anyway, let's see what I get. I'm actually terrified because I haven't actually done this jar before, and there's so many things that could come up, and I am absolutely terrified. Okay, I have pulled one, and oh my gosh, I'm like terrified. What is... the David Bat trilogy. Okay, that is not terrible. That is not terrible. I shall grab the book. So the reason why this is not terrible is because I have actually read the first book in the series, which was City of Brass. And this is actually one of the series I do want to complete because I've been putting it off for a very long time. And so the second book is The Kingdom of Copper. which is awesome to get to. I'm actually really looking forward to reading this book. So I'm actually quite happy because then I'm one book closer to completing the trilogy. So it's not terrible. The bad thing is it's quite a chunky little book. And when I've got 11 books, yes. So this prompt has done me a little bit dirty because it's added a very long book and added an 11th book. But anyway, City of Brass is basically initially is in Cairo, and you're kind of following this con woman who then meets a jinn and then goes off to this secret jinn city, and it's pretty cool. Like it's really fun. There's a lot of political wheeling and dealing. There's a little bit of romance, but it's not the focus so far, at least. But I really like the world building. It's kind of this alternative Cairo, and then this really cool kind of mythical city. Love it. I'm actually not unhappy with this one. Roll number 7 is a 6. Another green. This is going badly now. A random common noun generator. Interesting. So I have to find a noun and then basically find a book that has a noun that relates to it in some way. It's a random again, and this time it's a common noun generator. All right, so I went on to a common noun generator, and let's see what I got. All right, and here I am on a random common noun generator, and I'm going to pick a word, and I hope it's going to be easy. Sun. That is actually not bad. I should have a book with sun in the title somewhere. Actually sun, and whether it be on the cover or in the title, super easy. Let's go see what I can get. So I was super lucky getting the word sun because that kind of works. Now, there were quite a few books I could have picked that actually had the word sun in the title. However, I decided to go with a book that had a sun on the cover. I'm pretty sure that's a sun. It's a star anyway. And that is Ringworld by Larry Niven. I do really want to read this book. So this will be on my Kindle as well. And I shall give you a little bit of information on it. So this is the winner of both a Hugo and Nebula Award for Best Novel. Wu, accompanied by a young woman with genes for luck and a captured Xin, a warlike species resembling 8-foot-tall cats, are taken on a spaceship run by a brilliant two-headed alien called Nessus. Their destination is the Ringworld, an artificially constructed ring with high walls that holds 3 million times the area of Earth. Its origins are shrouded in mystery. The adventures of Louis and his companions on the Ringworld are unforgettable. So this is described as a new and amazing world and fantastic companions. This sounds really, really fun. And this one will also fit the scientific September prompt for extraterrestrial because it involves aliens. Roll number 8 is a 7. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Title prompt. Magic in the title. This could work. We'll see what I can find. And what's in the name? A magic in the title. So this one I could have obviously picked some fantasy books, but I have found the only books that I have that are science fiction or science nonfiction that have magic in the title. So I am reading The Life-Changing Magic of Numbers, How Maths Shapes Everyday Life by Bobby Siegel. And mathematics book, kind of cool, right? So this will obviously meet the scientific September prompt, mathematical, for obvious reasons. And this sounds really cool. I actually really enjoy mathematics, so I'm not sure how much of this will go over my head or not. I enjoy it. I don't necessarily understand it, but this sounds really cool. What makes a hit song? How does money really work? How can numbers help you find the one? If you found maths lessons at school boring, that's because you didn't have a teacher like Bobby Siegel. Long before his rise to cult fandom on University Challenge, Bobby was obsessed with numbers. They were the keys that unlocked the randomness of football results, the beauty of art, and the best way to get things done. In this book, he shows us the incredible ways that maps can make sense of our world, from magic shows to rap lyrics, from hobbies to outer space, from fitness to food. He will change how you think about almost everything. So yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to this one. Roll number 9 is a 10. All right, red. It's a vibe. A book set in a fictional world. Ooh, that may not be so good for sci-fi. Maybe, perhaps if it's a planet that doesn't exist. It's a vibe, a book set in a fictional world. And for this one, I'm going to pick A Memory Called Empire. This will also be on my Kindle, and this is the first book in the Texi-Kalan duology by Arcady Martin. This is a space opera, so it will fit my spacey prompt for Scientific September. I've been wanting to read this forever. It's winner of the Hugo Award for Best Novel in 2020. And it follows Ambassador Zamare, who travels to the Texi-Kalani Empire's interstellar capital, eager to take up a new post. Yet when she arrives, she discovers her predecessor was murdered, but no one will admit his death wasn't accidental and she might be next. Now she must navigate the capital's enticing yet deadly halls of power to discover dangerous truths. And while she hunts for the killer, she must somehow prevent the rapacious empire from annexing her home, a small, fiercely independent mining station. As she sinks deeper into an alien culture that's all too seductive, she engages in intrigues of her own, for she's hiding an extraordinary technological secret. So yes, this sounds really cool. Roll number 10 is a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a vibe. And that's a book inspired by non-Western culture. All right, I'm not sure how that's going to go sci-fi, but anyway, let's see what I can find. Another It's a Vibe, and this time a book inspired by non-Western culture. And for this one, I am going to pick Black God's Drum by P. Jelly Clark. And this will fit the brainology prompt for Scientific September because it has a person on the cover. Now, this one seems to be this kind of alternative history of New Orleans. It seems to have fantasy elements, but it's also tagged as sci-fi and Goodreads. So I'm going to count it because I am dying to read this book. So in an alternate New Orleans caught in the tangle of the American Civil War, the wall-scaling girl named Creeper yearns to escape the streets or the air, in particular by earning a spot on board the airship Midnight Robber. She plans to earn Captain Anne-Marie's trust with information she discovers about a Haitian scientist and a mysterious weapon he calls the Black God's Drums. But she has a secret herself. Oya, the African Orisha of the wind and storms, speaks inside her head and may have her own ulterior motivations. So this is a cool little novella, and it's definitely non-Western inspired because it does have African mythology in it, and it seems to have sci-fi elements. And it's a short book, which I need because I've got 11 books so far. And roll number 11. This is it. This is the final roll, I think. And it's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another It's a Vibe. A science book. That's perfect. I could not be happier with that. And the final prompt is another It's a Vibe. And this is a science book, which could not be more perfect for Scientific September. And for this one, I had a lot of choices, but I've decided to go with The Secret Lives of Planets. So this will fit the spherical prompt for Scientific September because it's about planets. So we often think of the solar system as being like a clock, perfectly regular with every object steadfastly following its own path. On a short time scale it is, but from a longer perspective, the planets and their satellites in fact lead exciting lives as full as unpredictable events and drama as our own. From why Mercury is the shyest planet, to the lakes and rivers of liquid methane on Titan, to the much debated status of beloved Pluto, astronomer Paul Murden reveals the secret lives animating our solar system and also celebrates the stories of the pioneers, both known and unknown, behind some of science's most electrifying and profound discoveries. I love reading about planets, so I think this should be pretty fun. So that means I have quite a chunk of books. I mean, this looks like a lot already, and then I've got heaps of Kindle books. How many Kindle books do I have? I think I have 4 Kindle books on there as well. That's a lot. Okay, now thankfully I have chosen fairly skinny books for the most part. This one's done me dirty a little bit, Kingdom of Copper, but I am looking forward to reading it. So yes, but in all, this means that if I read all this, I will build Neon for Scientific September, and I'll really get on with some of my science books and science fiction books, which was the whole aim. And even the one fantasy book I have on here is a continuation of a series. So kicking goals. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this slightly chaotic and stressful video. And until I see you next time, take care.